Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Called Not Ready under the Jesus Initiative. Today I have someone so special. Oh, before we get there, my name is Essie and it's good to have you guys back on the channel. Do like and subscribe and tell your friends, copy, paste, comment as well. Let us know what you think, how we can improve, and also what you're also learning, and don't forget to send through also your prayer requests. Those are quite important so that we can keep connected with you and connected with Christ in this. And wow, this man sitting next to me needs no introduction. Oh my goodness. Actually, it does, but he really doesn't. Like, look at him. He is a whole human being. And today he has made time to sit with us today. To discuss everything fatherhood and mental health and therapy in the process. His name is Hloni Masuku. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm blessed. Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's my first time doing this thing.
Yeah.
Are
you nervous?
Not really.
Not really? You settled in now?
I'm actually looking forward. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Just before we get into it, right? What is it that you do? Because I know you have, or you are part of multiple things, right? You're in business, now you're getting into philanthropy as well, and you're a whole father. But I know in the business space, there's quite a few things that you do.
Yeah, you're right, quite right. I wear so many hats. I'm a legal consultant. Well, I think just to sum it up, I'm a businessman.
Yes.
Very busy for the Lord, busy to make money, and a whole lot of things that I do. But in the work field, I own a company that manages compliance for our clients with Department of Transport and all of that. And I own another consultancy as well that deals with a whole lot of things. And I'm quite involved as well in the welfare space, particularly in the youth sector, youth development, and simply because I can relate. So besides being a businessman, there's a whole lot of other work that I get involved in. And of course, being a dad, that's a full-time job.
That is a full-time job. Josh turned 17 months.
Actually 2 days ago. He turned he's a 17-month-old baby now. I just remember yesterday when he was just born, I held him on my hands. And today he actually tries to have a conversation with me and you can tell that he's arguing. And I wrote the other day, I'm like, this guy behaves like he's 17 years old.
My goodness. Well, 17 months going on 17. My son started school earlier this week on Monday. What an experience. I thought he was going to cry. As I dropped him off, I thought tears, but at first, he settled in really well, started playing and everything. And I felt hurt. But then as we're leaving, that's when the tears started coming out. On some, wait, you're not staying? So they grow so fast. He's 4, turning 4 now in June. And sentence construction is a thing. He tells me where to get off. He tells me, things like, Mom, you don't need to shout. And I'm like,
wow, look at that. Look at that. I mean,
I'm actually more proud of the fact that he got the sentence right than the context of what he's saying. I'm just like, oh, you can actually put words together and formulate a sentence. It's quite insane.
Actually, one thing about kids is they observe quite a lot. So whatever that they say is based on the intake. And they're actually very good with observing. So I've observed my son as well. He just texts the phone because all I see dad is on the phone all the time.
So now he's also
he's like, I'm like, boy, you're gonna be a businessman. So well done to you. So he started Triple R. So
is it called Triple R?
There's actually 4 R.
Is it?
There's quad R, Triple R, double R, 1 R, and then grade 1.
Hectic.
So Triple R, I think you edges of 4, if I'm not mistaken, and then double R it's 5, and then one R it's 6, and then grade 1 it's 7.
Yes, so it is triple R. But I think at their school they call it triple
research.
0. Yeah.
Dama research.
Yeah, but I think it depends on the school. At the school he goes to,
it could be R or 0.
Yeah. So it's that. So it's quite interesting navigating motherhood, especially as a single mom. It's something that I'm kind of battling with, here and there when it comes to him growing up and becoming his own individual. How they say like sons are also like very close to their moms and they're very protective over their moms type of thing. Well, I guess it depends on the family.
It does. It's
highly
because my son is close to me and I'm her mom.
Of course. So like there's that part of me that's like, oh, that's my baby, and he's like growing up and he's all independent. He can get on the slides by himself now, and I'm like, you don't need me to hold your hand. It's like, no.
It's actually very interesting to see how independent they can be. I think that's a very beautiful thing to observe. Actually, I posted a picture of my son. So when he was born, literally few seconds old, I held him and I realized one thing. He was fully dependent on us for everything. Till today he is. And I just realized how emotional that journey can be when you see them starting to be independent. You actually feel like, take a bow, I've done it. He has now developed to a space where he doesn't need me to hold his hand to walk with him. He can now run on his own.
Himself.
In actual fact, now he tries to eat on his own. So I realized, wow,
I remember you
getting somewhere.
Oh, he has the cutest little boy. My goodness.
So I think the same thing that you were saying now, that your son starts to do things by himself. The next thing he'll be waking up, I'm like, mommy, time to get up. School time.
School time. Exactly. It's quite interesting that you mentioned when Josh was born. I remember watching a podcast by Basi Kuetle. I hope I'm saying her name right. But she was interviewing Hungani Ndlovu.
Oh yeah, right? I like that guy.
Yeah, cool guy, right? And he said, and I want to quote him, he said on that podcast, there are not a lot of books, literature, podcasts, or anything like that basically teaches men how to transition into fatherhood, right? He went on to explain that he saw the entire birth process of his baby all the way to cutting the cord, right? And the immediate thing that kind of like clicked in his head was, that's my responsibility, Did you experience something like that where it's like, as soon as he came out, you were just like, oh my gosh, it's like your whole entire life now just shifts towards him. But like there's also that navigation of how to be a present father, how to help as much as mom is there, but also in your own way. Are you able to like shift your brain now to, okay, I'm a father, this is what I need to do? And also, what does that look like as a father in terms of being that present in your boy's life?
That's such a very deep question, because I just to think of it as well, I don't remember sitting down reading a book, or I remember actually when we had the baby shower. So there was like a segment where it was now the chance. They sat me down and they just gave me some diapers and wipes. Literally, they're just talking a whole lot of nonsense. Like, to be honest, it was like gents. So I don't remember being well prepped about the actual fatherhood journey I had. There was support in terms of really the things that we will need. Like, I think it's a norm where you get baby showers, whatever events that they get to do prior birth, and they buy stuff like diapers, toys, clothes, and all of that. So that was done. Now into the labor room, I had no script, I had no manual, and I had literally no one, like a male figure to hold my hand through the journey. In actual fact, prior birth, I just want to talk about a little bit of that experience prior birth. when Josh mom was just going through the labor pains and everything, I was super confused, as to what's going on.
Yeah,
because
like how can you help? Yeah.
And every time the nurse will come in and be like, okay, it hasn't reached a certain number. Okay, let's wait. So it took about like almost half a day.
Sure.
I don't know what that process is called, but like it needs to reach whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, that
need
thing.
to get to a specific number.
Yeah. So we waited, and finally it got to that number. But during that period, I realized that the fatherhood starts prior birth.
Is it?
Because now there is a level of dependency.
Sure.
That one must assume. Naturally. Now you realize that when someone is in labor, actually they're in so much pain.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to carry the pain, share that pain in a way, because now they're literally screaming. You have to calm them down. You have to talk them out of it. And funny enough, I was the preferred person to be in the room.
Yeah.
So they chose me to be in the room, and so I had to figure out how to be the calm person in the room.
Yeah.
And during that moment, I wasn't calm myself. Literally, every second that I will get, like free second, I'll run to the bathroom and
just like
just breathe.
Yeah, and then come back, and it's like chaos again.
So the first thing that came into my mind was, dads must be strong.
Yeah. Ooh. And you must find that strength.
Yeah, you must find the strength from somewhere.
Pull it out of a hat. Yeah.
And the second thing was, dads must always, figure it out. Like, be strong. And once you're strong, you got to figure it out as to what's happening right here. So now fast forward to when he was actually born. So, I remember being given a scissor to cut the umbilical cord. I was like,
I'm sure that was so weird.
That was like, that was so And then actually the real moment really was hearing him scream, coming out and just screaming. And I got to cut the thing. And like I said, I don't know. I don't want to say there isn't any books that speaks about that experience for dads. But I think what I needed more than anything else was just someone to walk me through the journey, like a male figure type of thing, to say, okay, it's expected for you as a dad to be here. This is what you're gonna go through. I will know though that maybe you just need to figure it out as you're going through it, and no preparation is required. But I would like to believe that I think you at your best when you know what to expect, when you know what you're doing, you're prepped a little bit. So I would say really, there wasn't any prior preparation. There wasn't any book. I can relate to that. There wasn't anything that says I must behave this way, feel this way, move this way, cut this thing this way. So everything was almost like a natural instinct. Like I had to trust my God. I was like, okay, God, let me just do it.
Yeah.
So every time I'll speak to myself, I spoke about the bathrooms. Yeah. I'll go there to speak to myself, no one else. Just literally say, Hloni, you got this. Just be there.
This reminds me of a story of Joseph, the father of Jesus, who's married to Mary. And I'm just wondering, like, have you ever thought of how it felt for him? I mean, even their dynamic was very different in the sense that he wasn't necessarily the biological dad. Do you think that natural instinct that you're thinking about, that you talked about just now, probably happened with him as well? Do you think maybe that was a thing for him?
I love the story. I think one thing prior to that we can both agree to was Joseph was a gentleman, of note. Yeah. Because the Bible records that when he found out that Mary was pregnant, and he knew that she was not...
He didn't want to bring her to shame.
The Bible says that he didn't want to expose her. In today's words. He didn't want to... he tried really to deal with the situation in a very calm and very respectful way. I think. So I like to believe that he had to follow what she was well taught probably growing up. You know, I like to believe that the way he actually handled the situation, he was well taught. I think his upbringing might have contributed to how he probably handled the situation. And now it's even worse when the reason why I'm saying that is, in today's world, when your partner says I'm pregnant and you know you had nothing to do with it, it becomes a whole
first thing you want to do is dip
and you want to deny, and you want to make it a public knowledge that you're not responsible, and you probably, you know, so for him, I think let's establish that he had to follow what God will want him to do. Because God will want him to embarrass someone else and all of that. So I think he followed what God will want him to do. And that's one thing that I wanted to say, that when I went into those bathrooms, those little moments, I'm like, God, I just don't know what to do. And not even praying, because I feel like praying.
You're just talking.
Because the definition of praying a lot of times is closing your eyes. You know, So me, I'll just scream. I'm like, God, what do I do? Because in the absence of my biological, physical father, I think God is my father. So when I run into the bathroom, I just scream to God and I just speak to God. So I like to believe that he had a relationship with God. And how he dealt with the situation. So which is a requirement to all of us. So
I mean, on that note, about, you know, our fathers, right? Majority of us grew up without them. And I think you also kind of did as well. You know, it was mostly your maternal side that was, you know, responsible for your upbringing. Right? And so due to lack of a father figure in your life, do you think that, you know, certain things that are happening right now in your life could have been avoided had you had him? Or do you think God has been enough, he is enough, that's it? Or do you think maybe there was something else you could have learned from your father? But also take into consideration, our fathers were also a different breed, hey? They never went into the labor wards. They didn't want to cut the cord. They didn't want to change the diaper. They didn't want to be responsible for wiping and, you know, washing and feeding the kids. So even with that kind of mentality that they had, do you think there was something you could have learned from your physical father?
That's a very good question. Well, I think yes, probably have learned something. If probably my dad would have been present, dad, in whichever capacity he could have, you know, made himself available to me. I think more than anything else, at times you don't really need materialistic help or physical help. You just need presence. You know, like I said, I had to feel God's presence. To find that comfort and strength. So sometimes you just need him to be there. And in terms of different generations and times, I'll have to agree with you that, I mean, for instance, that culturally, males are not allowed to be in the labor room. So that's something that it's a new thing to our generation now, where we find ourselves in the labor room. We find ourselves being part of that process. It was something that was made for
women,
ladies, older women, senior women. I think they call them midwives, something like that.
Midwives.
So I don't think my father will have related to what
that
will have been happening. But like I said, sometimes you just need someone to be present. And in terms of really the changing of diapers, etc., it's not something that one will have to learn from maybe their dads or from their previous generation. I think being aware of the time that you're living in is very important. If I can just dive into the Bible very quickly. When God created Adam, he gave me everything and said, look after it. And then there was one thing that was missing, a helper. And we know the story. And then there was a responsibility given to man, which was stewardship, you know, take care of what I've given you. So stewardship also, it's your children, your wife, and everything that is under you. You become a caretaker. So when man had committed sin, we see God now having a different mandate to man. He says, you're gonna work very difficult, very hard. You're gonna eat the sweats of the fireworks or whatever. And then to ladies, they are given this responsibility of having to go through 9 months and
in the birth
as
process.
difficult as it is. So I'll imagine then that ladies or females were not really going into the work field. So their responsibility was to give birth to children and raise them while men are out there working. So I'll assume that the responsibility for men was protection and providence.
Yes.
So things obviously have shifted to now where you find single moms, no dads available, or the income is not enough from men. So now the females are forced to go and work. So it's no longer that setup now. So I want to go into the setup of our fathers and our grandfathers. They probably never changed the diaper or been in the labor room because all the time they're in the fields working, they're out there, and
so that's where that whole thing of them not even being involved comes from.
Yes,
even throughout the birthing, they're not there because they're out in the field trying to make sure that they can sustain this new life.
Absolutely. So it was not their core responsibility.
Right.
It's not because they were not present. I think we need to define being present based on the times we're living in. And what is the context in the times that we're living in? So I like to assume that the context of men in those times go work in the fields, go hunt. If you're living in the farms or rural areas, in the urban spaces as well, go work. And you will have stay-in moms who will just raise the children, take care of them. So responsibilities were defined and separated in that way. Now things are different. I mean, you have a 9 to 5, and it's unfair for you from your 9 to 5 get home, still change the diapers. Everybody went to work.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to actually learn and adjust to say, we're both going to work.
Yeah.
So everyone must do something. And it becomes a responsibility of us all to do everything around the child, which is now changing the diapers.
Can you change a diaper?
Of course I can. Of course I can.
Can you bath Josh?
I can. I can
all
do
of
everything.
That, feed him
actually bath him, feed him. And I mean, I remember when he was very, very, very little, I had to, there's something which is called, so after feeding him, you have to hold him in a certain way so that he can. So there's a lot of processes especially when they're very, very small. So yeah, I had to learn all of that.
It's commendable that you know how
waking
to
up
do
in
that.
the middle of the night, having to feed him, because especially when they're newborns, they don't sleep right through the night. They get hungry, so they wake up and they cry, and then you have to feed him because we give him the bottle and all of that. So I think I had to learn in the job, which is not the best thing.
Yeah.
Because now you're taking a risk.
Do you think you were ready?
I don't think I was. I don't think I was. Since I said I was not fully prepared. So certain things I had to learn as I navigate the change. So I don't think I was ready.
And I think that's the thing about parenting. I don't think it's something you ever get ready for, like 100%. I know my mom had me when she was 29, right? Yes, in a marriage setup. But I don't think she was also in a space at the time to fully navigate parenting and also being a newlywed, because they also had that dynamic as well, where the relationship just started really, like in terms of marriage, and then boom, there's a baby and all of that. So trying to also navigate that space, as a newlywed, as a mom, also your career woman, she was studying at the time. There's a lot happening all at once. And I think readiness, I don't know if readiness is a thing when it comes to parenting, because I think even when you're 35, you're never really fully ready for the upside down, not sleeping, for women, sore boobs, from the milk, situation, from the pain and all of that. So I do commend you, first of all, for sticking through it and allowing yourself to actually learn these things, because you do get some super traditional men out there who are still like, nope. And I'm not doing this. And I remember you told me recently that you have a nanny in the house, that takes care of Josh, especially when you're away. How is it navigating your space with someone else, and what does that teach you about selfishness and just the overall vibe around us human beings being so hoardy about our space?
I think the interesting part about having a stranger in your house, a stranger in your house, and I'll call it that way. Even Josh, first time he was like a stranger in my house. Because you're not used to.
You don't know this guy.
Not in a bad way, but you feel me. Really, so I was
don't know each other.
Okay, now there's someone who's like up and down, crawling, now running. We're not used to this, so lives must adjust. And I think in every adjustment, you have to now kind of prepare yourself for what you think might come and what you probably don't know that will come. So now it's the journey of having to find a nanny, because we're both working. Who's going to take care of the baby when we're at work? And we don't have, that support from our mothers and stuff like that to move in with us and stay full time with us. So we have to outsource that. And actually it's not an easy thing first to find someone, because now you have to scrutinize all the profiles and check. So that person being in your space, they're there full time, and it's not easy to admit a total stranger into your house, but you have to, because being a dad comes with different responsibilities and risks that you have to take. And I call it a big risk, because it's one thing to have them maybe coming in during the day and going back. It's another to have them sleep over, stay there, breathe the same air that you're breathing, be in the same space that you are in. And it's all by complete trust, to be like, okay, I have to trust the process, and I have to trust this person. And above all, I have to trust that, God approved. So I'm still getting used to it, because especially, I think, let's go back to being ready. Sometimes when you're new in love, you still like enjoying your space, as a couple, or maybe even staying alone, you're still enjoying that space. You're still adjusting to whichever way you want to. Now, babies do happen planned and unplanned. But whichever way, I don't think one is ever ready for the practical process that will take place when the baby is there.
Sure.
You can read books, but theory does not give you a practical perspective unless...
of the real thing.
I want to highlight one thing. First time dad. I'm a first time dad.
Yes.
Yeah. I think maybe it might be different as a second time dad.
Yeah.
Because I really want to have at least 3 kids or so. So it will be different. But as a first time dad, I think that's where you're going into with how was the experience like. So a whole lot of these things are like brand new. It has never happened in my life before. Having to employ all of these people to take care of your baby where you can't be there. Because we live in a world where we're doing a lot of outsourcing. Like I said, back then, I don't know which year period was it. Our moms and our dads will do everything themselves. They will have less of intimate help. I call it that way, because having someone, a nanny, help in your house, it's intimate help. So it's a really very uneasy process to have now 2 strangers in your house. Yeah.
You are a businessman.
At heart.
Yes, and also in practicality.
Yeah.
Do you think that business in any way is also teaching you a little bit about what fatherhood is like? Because, earlier we spoke about having employees, right? You have you need to give them the responsibility to be able to run your business when you're not there.
Absolutely.
Right? And trust them.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think sometimes, even as a parent as well, you kind of have to allow your son to kind of just explore and hope for the best, that he doesn't trip and fall and hit his head type of thing. You have to trust him that he's okay. And in the process, you also have to trust the nannies as well, that are going to be able to make sure that he doesn't trip and fall and hit his face on the corner of the couch or on the corner of the table or whatever the case might be. Do you think business and fatherhood can somehow be interlinked in terms of teaching you characteristics of yourself, essentially, just going forward?
Absolutely. Life is about a combination of many factors. And I was speaking to young people the other day, and I was saying to them that what prepares you for life is not you. It's you and many other things around you.
Sure.
So you need that for character building. So I think the first thing that's very important is character building. And if you look at character building, it's a lot of things in you that shapes your character. I was having a conversation the other day, and I said, what helps us to have a better view of life and perspective is literally involving ourselves in many things.
Yeah.
So that we have a different perspective about life, but also a balanced one. So being in business, it helps me to, I think, understand people first, because like I said, before everything else, there's a human being. So people skills are very important in everything that you do in life, literally everything, including marriage, dating. People skills are very important. Being able to read the room, being able to trust someone, and there has to be like a way how you get there, how you navigate to get into a position where you really admit someone to be present fully in whatever that you've employed them to do. So being in business really has taught me how to work with people and how to navigate around finding the right people to trust. Because I mean, you can't do everything by yourself. If I could, I would, but I can't. And that's why we need each other. So I've made a lot of mistakes before, and I'm grateful that those mistakes have shaped me to the person that I am today, in terms of what is it that I apply all in order to get the right people to do the job. And again, having someone to take care of your child, literally you need the best person, you need the right person for the job. And that's something that you can't really gamble with.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about someone that can't speak, someone that can't give you feedback and report. At least in business, you know, the clients can escalate to you and say, we're dealing with so-and-so in your office, and they're not really helpful.
They're not helpful.
Now think about your child who can't escalate themselves, who can't escalate the situation to you. It'll be better maybe when they start talking, then they can pick up the phone and say, Mom, Dad, Auntie hasn't given me food.
But they can't do any of that.
Yeah. So I think also the experience that you'll collect, not just in business, but people skills. You will understand how certain people work and how they do things. And there's that psychological element in it where you don't just hire because of qualifications only, but you look at as I'm saying, behind everything else, there's a human being.
Sure.
So for me, my top secret is when I hire, it's mainly the psychological element more than your qualifications. Before you tell me what you can do, I need to know the type of person you are.
Yeah.
You know, before your certificates, your whatever, who are you? And that is the same way of doing things that I'll also, you know, apply at home with whoever I'm with or I involve myself with. It's who are you behind anything else. So which is a difficult process to navigate, because it takes a lot from you to be able to understand the next person.
True.
Yeah.
And I think in that process, you asked a very interesting question of who are you? Do you know who you are? And do you think as a Christian, right, you're allowed to go to things like therapy to figure yourself out? And I think even having, because I know some churches have, you know, these programs where they do premarital counseling and all of that, right? Do you think maybe there should be like a pre-fatherhood counseling of some sort, or do you think maybe there should be also more programs for the youth to also help them understand the implications of fatherhood? Because I do think young people also get into fatherhood and motherhood without actually realizing what they're getting themselves into, right? As much as we can teach kids about the birds and the bees, but also the implications of the birds and the bees. If you're going to go and do that, you're going to become a father. And when you become a father, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to be expected of you. You know what I mean? And I think those type of, I guess you could call therapy or counseling sessions are quite important. Do you think that maybe in our Christian community, we should implement things like that?
Absolutely. And for me, I'll do it in a different way though. I always say to people that a lot of things in life don't make sense until you are in them. So I probably will want to see a space where now that you're a father, come, let's talk.
Okay.
You already in the path.
Yeah.
It does help to have these talks prior, but a lot of times when you speak about something before it happens to anyone,
they don't get it. Yeah, it doesn't quite land.
So we do have these things at church, maybe speaking about how to. I think for me, it has to be now that you find yourself here. Come, let's navigate it together. And like now, someone is pregnant, you're responsible. There has to be that part of therapy that you need to go through, because I don't think therapy is well received when anything hasn't occurred to you. Therapy is usually when something has happened and now you need to unpack it, understand it, and
only then maybe certain lessons will probably sink in a little bit more than not having the experience at all.
I think that's how we are designed as human beings. Certain things really won't affect us until it happens. I think we do know really what will happen when we do certain things, we know that.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I look at young moms as well, teenagers, that part where now they're pregnant and they're at school. Also the young boys that have met the girls pregnant. Also, grown-ups as well. It's just quite difficult to navigate that chain now that it has happened. So I think we need more help there. We need more of how to when things are happening or about to happen. I think that will make sense.
Yeah.
Because I like to think that prior the fatherhood journey, if anyone has to come to me and speak to me about kids, babies, I don't think I would have understood. Yeah.
And I think it's something that I'm also realizing. I think we had this conversation the other day where there's certain things that wouldn't touch you as much without that experience. Like when we talked about the mothers, sitting on the street corners with the kids type of thing. You wouldn't have that heart to go and like speak to that lady, for example, to try and figure out what's going on here. Or when I helped, a father in the side of the road who needed petrol, for example.
Absolutely.
Like little things like that. You wouldn't have that heart if you didn't have a kid.
Absolutely.
Type of thing. So experience kind of does count, It
does.
And it does also add knowledge.
It does.
As well, to a certain extent. So that's something quite interesting.
Yeah. And I think also help is well received.
Sure.
When it's packed with experience and when it's packed with something that is happening, a situation maybe. Which I think really that for me, I think that's the biggest help.
Yeah.
Really that we can ever give to moms and dads and everyone who's navigating parenthood, fatherhood, to say, look, now that you find yourself a father, these are the things that you probably will expect and will experience. Like I said, different times, environments, places, different situations as well that comes out of that environment, because also the expectations are based on how you grew up as a person, how you raise your child. It's more than likely a reflection of how you were raised or how you would have wanted to be raised.
Yeah.
For me, I think the greatest and biggest and loudest cry ever in my life was to have a biological father present.
Yeah.
So what makes me super present to Josh?
Yeah.
I'm the father that I never had.
That you never had. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's real because I feel I can relate.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at him the other day when he started walking. I think he tried to get up and he looked at me, and I'm like, you can do it. I didn't know that you could hear me. And then he started like moving faster. So I realized what assurance can do. And I spoke to you earlier on about being in the, like running to the bathroom and crying out loud. I just needed assurance. You know, I just needed someone to say, you got this, son. And I think that's the most beautiful thing ever.
Yeah.
Like presence, you know. So things like those, we do need to have therapy, because therapy helps us properly deal with things that occurred to us, and things that we probably will not be able to deal with on our own. So we need those things to be, you know, unpacked, so that we don't have the spirit of resentment in us with the people that we think didn't do us right. So therapy should really be made fashionable to all genders, especially us, amadoda, man, you know. We
please go to therapy.
Please, guys, go to therapy. Yeah, I think it's a need. I think it's a need because there are a lot of things that I didn't just understand on my own. And when I had to go through therapy, you know, bit by bit, I got to understand. Yeah.
And I think just to wrap up, you know, you and I were talking about getting into philanthropy.
Of course.
You know?
Yes.
And there's the foundation that we're starting together. And I'm so excited about that. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And I think going back to the whole experience thing, right? It's more than just being a better parent for your child.
Absolutely.
But it's also extending that umbrella by being a better parent to everyone else around
because you can relate.
Because you can relate, right? And I think even this foundation that we're starting, I am so excited about. And I think it's something that is so close to both of our hearts.
Absolutely.
Because we also do know what it's like to come from nothing.
Absolutely.
So getting into spaces where you can empower people and you can offer things like therapy and counseling to young people in rural areas and things like that can also, you know, help shape a better future. And wouldn't it just be amazing to be a part of bettering more than just Josh's life, more than just Mila's life, but we're empowering an entire generation in which both Mila and Josh will be, you know, present in going forward.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something so powerful and enriching. And I think through the grace of God, you know, we should always also make sure to, you know, to never leave God behind. And I think because the Lord has been your father, he was with you literally in that bathroom when you needed that reassurance. He tapped you in the shoulder and he said,
I felt it.
You're good.
I felt it.
You got it. You know, just keep yourself together. She needs you right now. Go back. You know, and you were obedient enough to be able to go in there, calm yourself with the Father, and then go back out when you were ready because you knew God had you. And it's just those beautiful moments that I think are just to die for. And I think if we can extend that to people
absolutely
as well, just make sure that they're not alone, because sometimes most people don't know how to hear God, but if they can hear God through us, wouldn't that just be amazing? Josh is starting school soon.
Yes,
next week, right?
Super excited. Next month.
Feb.
Yeah, nursery school.
How do you feel about that? Are you excited?
More than anything else, I can't wait to drop him off and pick him up.
Are you ready to let him go? like that's
another trust dynamic. So I mean, very quickly I had to go through 10 nursery schools before I select this one. That's how pedantic I am. So I think that also comes from a place of this person is just so fragile. I've seen this person from day one, you know, and you feel like you want to be there for them, you want to protect them. And I spoke about being God's steward to say, I feel like God has given me this person to take care of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And finally, what advice would you give to a father who is currently expecting, whether it be a single dad who knows he's about to become a single dad, or someone who's married, or just someone who is taking up the opportunity to become a father, especially on their own, who's probably going to be adopting a child or taking care of a niece because their mom passed away or something like that. What advice would you give to someone who is currently expecting to receive a lovely child from God to take care of going forward?
Yeah. And I'll say every situation is different.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that is similar to all experiences and situations is being present.
Yeah.
Just be present. Just be present. And when you're present, you'll know how to navigate. You'll learn how to navigate things. I always say to people that when you're present in a situation, even if you don't know what to do, you'll see certain indicators that say maybe try that, try this. But when you completely absent, you will know that there's a need for you to pick up that diaper and go throw it in the dustbin while mom is down changing the baby. You will know that, when mom is preparing to birth the child or whatever the circumstances are in your home. I think for me, just be present.
Yeah.
And when you're present, you learn how to navigate the situation. And being present also comes with you leading. So don't just be present and not lead, especially as a dad.
Yeah.
So I'll just marry the two together. Be present and lead.
Okay.
Be present and lead. And I think as to how you can cope in being present and leading, there's therapy for that. So the most important thing is be present and lead. And I think that will just work hard because, like I said, when you're present, you'll know what's the problem. When you're not present, you'll be told what's the problem. And those are two different things.
Two different things.
Yeah. So be present to know what's the problem. Be present to know what's good.
Yeah.
And you react to it. As compared to, being called, being, told, okay, what's going on? So I was present in the labor room. I didn't know what to do, but I ran to God for answers. I ran God for strength. I ran to God for wisdom. I ran God for anything that I needed. So I'm not saying when you're present, you'll know what to do. You will have everything that you need, but at least you will know. I mean, in business, we always say that the first step towards being successful is having things to do.
Right.
Not knowing how to do them. Knowing how to do things and having to do things are two different things.
Yeah.
Having things to do. And when you have things to do, you will learn how to do them. So for me, be present and lead.
Okay. I think that is something that is quite interesting for me because I'm finding myself to be also a leader in my own right.
Yeah.
And I think even your advice can also be spread out to even grandparents.
Absolutely.
Spread out to uncles and aunties and mothers, right? Just be present
and lead
and lead.
I don't just be present and do nothing. Be present and lead.
Be present and lead. This is why he said earlier that he is a businessman at heart.
Of course.
Because there will be nuggets of business as well that he'll put in there. And you have been an inspiration. You have been good
I'm humbled.
leader as well. And I think with the foundation that you have as well, kudos to you.
We're going to be present and we're going to lead.
And we're going to lead. And kudos to you. Kudos to Josh and your family as well.
Thank
for just keeping the faith. I think, I've heard you navigate quite difficult times in your life, but you're still so present. You're still so there. You still show up. And I just want to, on behalf of all mothers and aunties and the whole feminine society, we applaud you. We say thank you.
I really appreciate it.
For not leaving. The importance of presence is profound. As someone who grew up without their father, it's quite important that your kids have both influences in your life more than just mom, even if the parents are separated or whatever the case might be, but you must show up for your child.
Absolutely.
So Thank you for showing up. Thank you for even coming here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for the education as well of how to do this life thing and what you've been through. Thank you for sharing.
But thank God for wisdom.
Yes. Yeah. It's been an honor. It's been an honor. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining. It's been educational. It's been inspiring. And more than anything, it's been a blessing as well to have Hloni here with us in studio. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, this is called Not Ready under the Jesus Initiative. Again, my name is Essie, signing out.